Prague is amazing.
This is the downside of this city. It's just so crowded.
This has to be the coolest toy store I've ever seen.
If you come to Prague, you'll definitely get your money's worth.
I love Prague so much. Made it to Prague. Wasn't a bad travel day actually, huh? We're not done with it, I don't want to jinx it. But it turns out we have a 20-minute walk to our hostel or 14 minutes on transit.
I think we'll just walk. I mean, we haven't really done a lot of walking today. We're not exhausted. So, yeah, we are in Prague. So upon arriving at our hostel, we were greeted by what I think is easily the best hostel, excluding a few that had private rooms. This is maybe third on our list of hostels for the entire trip. I mean, the bathroom's immaculate, the rooms were really nice, the atmosphere through the place was great, this beautiful stairwell, brightly lit, nice glass elevator. I mean, it kind of felt like we were staying in a nice hotel instead of a hostel. It was just a wonderful experience. We highly, highly recommend Lumatera.
So we just ate some dinner and it was phenomenal Italian food. Literally the best pasta I've ever had in my whole life. I'm not exaggerating. And now we're exploring downtown Prague. What are your first impressions?
My first impressions of Prague are about as positive as they could be. And I'm being very serious about that. I mean, not only was it a smooth travel day, which helps the mindset getting here, the walk to the hostel wasn't terrible. In fact, it seemed like, every direction you looked, it was one of those cities where you find so many beautiful things. You can't wait to go see what it is. Just a beautiful walk to the hostel. The hostel itself is amazing. We had a wonderful interaction with the receptionist. When we checked in, I mean, he was just a very friendly, very amiable guy anyway, making jokes and stuff. Like we told him we were in Berlin and before that we were in Hamburg. And he's like, yeah, hamburger. I really like hamburgers. Cheeseburgers are better though.
Yeah.
And, he saw like Lawrence from Colorado and he's like, sweet home, Colorado. Just doing stuff like that. But then we told him something that we haven't discussed on this vlog and we won't go into details, but.
Yeah, he asked us how our Christmas was and I said it wasn't very good for, we'll tell you about it. Should we just tell him now?
We'll probably go more in detail at a later time. I had a family, my grandma passed away on Christmas Eve when we were in Berlin. It was very up in the air whether or not this trip was going to be able to continue at that time. Her mom actually, and I think her dad as well, immigrated from what was Czechoslovakia at the time, now the Czech Republic, part of those two countries. So being this close to the country, it felt very meaningful to carry on to come here because she was very excited about me coming here. And, had she not had a stroke, which is what precipitated the passing. When we were on the train arriving in Hamburg is when we got the news that she had the stroke, and it was very
sudden and shocking,
and then it was a few days later when she passed. But I mean, had that not happened, we would have, I would be talking to her, probably tonight about getting here, and she was very excited to hear about it. And there were a lot of reasons why it felt meaningful to continue the trip, to come to the Czech Republic. I'll honor her sort of in my own way here.
Yeah.
The family understands. I'll watch the the funeral service on a live stream, and
But our receptionist asked us how our Christmas was. I said it wasn't good because we lost someone back home, a family member, and he popped open 3 beers.
he's like, "Do you like beer?" And he got 3 beers.
Yeah, and it was, and he just cheers with us, and he said that he had lost a lot of family this year too, and he didn't charge us, and he actually hugged us, and it was just the purest, most random like act of kindness. He didn't have to do that, and we chatted with him, and he gave us some recommendations of things to do in the city. But that was, make a long story short, that was our first impression, our first welcome into Prague, and it meant more than he could have ever imagined.
Yeah, truly. If somehow you're watching this, Stefan, the receptionist, who's not really normally a receptionist, I mean, we already told you thank you, and it was very kind of you, but you know, if you're in any way watching 2 Americans in Prague someday,
It meant more than you know. It wasn't
Truly.
just a beer for us.
Yeah.
So.
But it was delicious beer as well.
Yeah. And we're gonna keep exploring. It's only like 7 o'clock. So yeah, let's go.
We're gonna try whatever Trdelnik is. Lauren suspects that it's gonna be like a churro potentially. Oh, your face was giant in that shit.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm kind of Christmas marketed out, but there's some different stuff in this Christmas market, so.
Alright, so we got it, and we did a little Wikipedia search. It's dough wrapped around a stick that is covered with sugar and walnut pieces. And we got chocolate inside. It looks unreal. Oh my god. Okay. I'm just gonna bite it. I mean...
You might want to wipe your... There you go.
It's so good.
That chocolate just wants to...
I don't care.
It's like a Slinky, basically. It's very reminiscent of the Belgian waffle. I don't have the most sophisticated of palates, you know. If something is dough and chocolate, to me a lot of times I'm just like, oh, that's dough and chocolate. So Lauren is more the connoisseur in terms of sweet treats. But I can give you this very profound take. It's delicious.
I'm trying to see the museum from back here. But maybe when we cross the street we'll see it better.
Yeah, I'm following you.
Yeah, no.
Camera on you 24/7. We're just gonna make all of our videos 24 hours long now. We will never have a moment to ourselves. Yeah, you know the camera's on you again. What do you got to say?
Help. So no.
I just love how colorful things are around here. I kind of get like slight, this is just me getting this vibe, but I get like a slight like feeling of Paris a bit with some of the architecture. I know they're not like identical, but I just get that feeling with a lot of it, and with the city. But there's color to it. There's like, you just saw like there's blue, there's pink, there's mint green. One full building is this color and then a complementary color next to it. I'm really enjoying that. It's not like, it's used very sparingly, but when you see it, it's just like a nice little pleasing thing that grabs your eyes for a few seconds. Like, oh, that little section of that block looks really beautiful. And then you look in another direction, you got like really cool, you know, architecture and towers and things. So
yeah, we've been to cities that aren't like very beautiful to look at.
Yeah. No,
and this
no
one,
offense, Berlin, but we just
okay, I was gonna just be vague. And
no, I know.
say,
It's literally. I mean, it's no offense to.
Berlin had some beautiful. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. We talked about it in the last video.
offense
We
to-
understand why a lot of Berlin looks the way that it does, or
Yeah.
is more modern. But
No, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
no, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, there were beautiful parts of Berlin, but a city like this is just beautiful off the bat. It's really fun to look at. Bruges was like that. Obviously, Paris was like that.
Yeah.
Edinburgh was like that. So we're just getting that feeling that, you know, we've missed. So.
A few moments later.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Brian nearly broke his neck by turning because he saw this. Groot?
No, you're.
Is that Groot?
Here, take the camera. Lauren likes to do this thing where she knows what she's saying is wrong, and she just says it because she knows that I know that she knows it's wrong, but that it'll be really annoying to me, right? Like she'll, what's an example? What was that
Tony
example
Hawk.
the other day? Oh yeah. Like when we were in Barcelona, and I brought up, by the way, go watch the Barcelona video, because we go to Park Güell, and that's like, I don't, or Güell, I don't know how to pronounce it. We go to that park, and they used part of that in Tony Hawk's Underground 2, a video game that I played a lot as a kid. And so I brought up the game, and Lauren's like, oh, Tony Hawk, yeah, he's the snowboarder, right? And it's like, she knows who Tony Hawk is, she knows it's skateboarding, but she just does it just to get under my skin. She has that dumb little smile on her face that she has behind the camera right now.
So you're telling me this isn't Groot
I mean,
from Marvel?
I God help me, I love her so much, I don't know why I do though.
This has to be the coolest toy store I've ever seen. Like literally, there's a Harry Potter section.
It's definitely the Harry Potter section.
Yeah, look.
Take the camera. I mean, we don't need this on film, but just, you know, I have to give myself.
Yeah.
Now this is a much better, cuter Dobby. If you watch the Bruges video, I'll just give you like a little clip from it right here. Some nightmare fuel, creepy Dobby. Hit it. Okay, that is actually kind of a freaky Dobby. You have cute Dobby, and then you have just scary Dobby.
Iron Man. Who's the actor who plays him? Matt Damon?
This toy store seemed to have no end. There was a second floor with an entire arcade. There was a candy store inside. Before we left, though, there was one thing that had to be done. We had to go down the slide. That is insanely fast. You're right, yeah. That's crazy. Whew. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here in, well, kind of cloudy day in Prague, but
It's not very cold, it's not rainy, so.
Yeah. And we have a pretty packed day today. Plenty of things to see, plenty of things to do. We're very excited. So, I don't know, do you have anything else to add, or should we just jump on it?
We just have a laundry list of things that we are planning on doing. So let's go. We only have 2 days here, so we want to make the absolute most of it.
Yes. Okay, so the astronomical clock was a little bit underwhelming. I thought there were going to be like more moving parts to it, but Old Town Square is absolutely not underwhelming. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's really packed today. There's still a Christmas market happening, which I think is I think it's pretty cool. I guess back in America, I think pretty much after Christmas, everything ends. So I think this is unique. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Christmas person. Like, I'm perfectly happy for Christmas to end after Christmas. So, yeah, that's sort of just where my head goes. So
it's still very Christmassy is what I'm trying to say. So a lot of people are still out getting food at the market and stuff, but it's very crowded. However, we have another place that we're hoping isn't as crowded, and it's pretty unique. It's at a library, and it's just 3 minutes away.
So let's go. But of course, you can't just walk around Prague without getting sidetracked. And along the way, one thing that really pulled us in was this absolutely beautiful church.
So we're here at the municipal library, and what we wanted to see is that it is a huge, I don't even know, tower made of books, and the line is super long. It literally wraps around the building. So we're gonna come back later and see if the line is shorter. It's not like a huge priority on our list, so I think we're gonna move on, but we'll see if we come back.
This literally looks like something out of like a Disney movie, like town.
This is what we see. Prague it's just amazing. Like, I cannot, everyone says, yeah, Prague's a beautiful city. You all have to come here, seriously.
Do you want to explain what this is?
So you touch this, okay, hold on, I just want to make sure it's fun. Okay, so on the Charles Bridge is a golden pope that you can touch, and it's supposed to be for good luck. So we're gonna do that. Here, go ahead. Put your hand. Now hopefully we will have lots of good luck. Mentally not ready for it, but the view will be worth it.
Going uphill?
Yeah, going up a steep street like in Porto or Lisbon or Edinburgh.
It's been a while though, since we've done
It has
something
been a
really
while.
steep.
Yeah. So.
And it truly was a hike. I think we counted 208 steps, if I remember correctly, to get up and of course back down. Almost there.
Yeah, breathe.
But of course, going up all of these steps was 100% worth it. Not only for all of the great things up here that we got to explore both this day and the next, but just turning left here, there we go, we got a beautiful, beautiful view overlooking Prague.
Look at it. Look. I love Prague so much. It's so cool.
So sadly the castle is closed. It's about 3:30. We thought it might be open for another 90 minutes at least. It's okay though, we're gonna get up tomorrow. That'll be our first stop coming, seeing the castle, potentially going inside the cathedral as well. Now we are headed kind of back down. There's a very artistic wall, the John Lennon wall. And apparently, well, I don't know if you're allowed to like graffiti on it anymore, but from what I understand, it seemed like it was just like this open wall that people would just like add to over time, inspired by John Lennon. His face, I think, appears a few points on the wall still. I don't know, I guess we'll find out when we get there, but it looked interesting. And anything to add?
Nope.
Okay, see you there.
So we are back at the library, and as we were hoping, the line is a lot shorter later in the day. So we are gonna go in and see this big, I don't even know, tower of books.
We're gonna try getting a different angle on the astronomical clock, see a lot of the things that we weren't able to see very clearly from pretty far under it, so maybe it'll be a little more exciting from back here. Okay, so what is that?
Hold on. I'll just show you and you can zoom in on it. I asked like the waiter what he preferred because I wanted like a tea type of apple cider thing, and he said this pear one was a good choice. So it's really hot, but it smells amazing. And we're just here at a coffee shop to just kind of rest our feet a little bit and hang out before we get dinner and finish our night off. What did you get?
I got a flat white. I mean, there's nothing more to say. I just got a flat white. Yeah.
Looks good though.
It does look good. Yeah. We're approaching the end of the night. We need to sort of go back. I need to do a little bit of editing because there's a video, dropping in a few hours from now. Obviously, dinner is a priority, but really, we're kind of just taking it easy for the last few hours of the night. We need to come together and figure out sort of what we want to see and do tomorrow, because obviously we want to make the most of our second full day and also our last full day in Prague. So yeah, overall, like, it's one of those days where I feel like we did and saw so much. It's nice to just sort of decompress and just allow yourself to absorb everything that you actually saw, because it sort of comes at you in a whirlwind sometimes when you just come around this corner, oh, what's that? And then you go in another corner, oh, what's that? Oh, let's go across this bridge. Oh, there's a whole other range of stuff to see. So, yeah, we just get to sort of take it easy for a few hours here, and tomorrow start it all over again.
Look at this picture I got yesterday. The birds.
Nice. And where can the people find lovely pictures like that?
On my Instagram and on QLC at QLC Travels. Is it underscore?
Yeah.
QLC Travels?
No,
Okay.
QLC_travels.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone took QLC Travels, so that was like rude. Are they in a quarter life crisis traveling Europe? Probably not.
Okay, so granted, we might be a little bit older than quarter life, but we were in Europe, and our day began with a little exploration of Prague Castle, built in the 9th century. And so after the castle, we moved on to this, which is St. George's Basilica. We've seen a lot of churches on this trip, but this one was actually a bit unique in the way that it looked inside, and it had some very, very interesting things on display as well. And then it was time to move on to St. Vitus Cathedral. Now, from the outside, this place was amazing to look at. We were sort of teased by it the previous day. And inside, I mean, you can just see the place was massive, so much detail.
We could make a video with all the footage we have of the cathedral. It'd just be like a 20 to 30 minute video. We'll just show you a fraction, of course, but suffice it to say that this place was a bit overwhelming with how much there was. You know, your eyes are just assaulted with so much intricacy that by the time you step back outside, you're sort of exhausted by the whole experience.
We are here again in another line, but it is to go through Prague's most narrow alleyway. So narrow that it has a stoplight, so the people up top and the people up in the bottom know who's going and when, because it's so narrow only one body can fit through. So we'll show you. I have to go back up. I thought you could just like continue on now. So you get the experience twice, I guess.
The lights clearly didn't work there because both sides were green. Very awkward. But yeah.
It's not something that I would say go out of your way for. It was cool, but there's no exit. It's not like going through an alleyway where you can go to a different street. You literally just have to loop around, which is, yeah, so.
And it wasn't quite as narrow as I was thinking. I thought there'd be a part where you have to like do this to get through or something like that. Like,
well, we did when there were other people, but yeah,
yeah.
it was okay.
This is the downside of this city, is that it's just so crowded.
So crowded, so packed. We're not waiting in line for anything. We're literally just going down an alleyway. Well, we made it through that crowd.
It took 5 minutes.
Like 5 whole minutes, and people were pushing each other. It was getting heated. Anyways, we're heading back to our hostel now, but if you were wondering if the Christmas markets continue, 3 days after Christmas, they do, and they're stronger than ever. There was that band that you saw.
Yeah, all of the stalls still selling food.
Yeah.
You know, people out just, I don't know, selling their wares.
Also, I've still seen, like, mostly kids, granted, but still with, like, Santa hats and stuff, so.
Yeah, the Christmas spirit lives on, and I'm sure it will live on in Munich, where we head tomorrow. One last little quick note, by the way. Not sure if I said this earlier, I don't think I did, but shout out to the Czech government or the local government here in Prague. Most of what we did today, we spent like 2.5, 3 hours just up at the castle. It's amazing that they allow the public to just wander freely. I mean, to go in the buildings and things like we did, you need a ticket, but it was only 22 euros for both of us to be able to access like 8 different buildings.
And you can walk around the gardens for free. There's restaurants, there's cafes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to go and see everything, you can for free.
Yeah, we definitely can see why the Prague Castle was like a must-do. So if you come to Prague, yeah, you'll definitely get your money's worth, because we've traveled to a lot of places where we would have had to pay 3 times as much just to see like one castle or one cathedral or something like that. So you definitely get value for money here in Prague, no matter what you do. Just walking around for free, it's so beautiful. and we're really gonna miss it, I think.
Yeah, we are. It has exceeded our expectations. We had a bit of a low point. Like Brian and I talk about how this trip has highs and lows and stuff. This was very much of a high point.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going back into Germany for a little bit to spend the new year, and then
On to Switzerland after that.
yeah. So we still have a whole month left in this journey.
Yes.
But we'll say goodbye for tonight.
Yeah, we'll see you next week in Munich.
We are heading to Munich to spend the new year.
That is what I was expecting from the astronomical clock.
She just like filled my heart right up.